Thank you, sir. All right. Well, Matt Brua, welcome to the call. It's great to have you. So just a little backstory on Matt and I. We were part of a company called Majestic Mortgage that we joined back in 2002. I'm not sure when Matt started to work there. I think his mom owned a real estate company and she knew Tom Ward. And so a bunch of people that are on this call know who Tom is and the influence that he's had on all of us. And so he hired Matt when he was pretty young. How old were you when you went to work for Tom?
22.
Whoa.
Yeah. First boss, Tom Ward. How about that, huh?
How about that?
Skin as thick as an elephant's.
That's funny. How'd you like to get Tom Ward for your first boss? That's great. Yeah. And so Matt and I so we were together at Majestic. He was in Chicago. He's in Chicago. He's a Chicago loan officer, northern suburbs. And I pulled up his MMI data so that you can see, and what it says is, and I don't know how accurate this is, Matt, 215 transactions in the last 14 months, 55 million. So you've only got about a $260,000 average loan amount. Does that sound about right? Yeah. So that's working hard for the money. And, but 215 transactions is solid, dude.
Thanks,
especially in this environment and in the environment that we're in. And I reached out to Matt because we started talking about referrals and how do you ask for referrals, and he started rattling off a whole bunch of information. So I just asked him, I go, dude, would you jump on a call and do it with us? And so graciously, I really appreciate it, dude. I owe you at least a really nice steak dinner somewhere for you and your wife. And so, but talk about that. Talk about your approach to all of this and all the things that we talked about.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. And no, you don't owe me a dinner. I'm happy to do it. Dave saved my career years ago. He called me a C student that should be an A student very easily. And it really pissed me off. So, so I changed my business. That was years ago. And Giuseppe, I'm still thankful for your spreadsheet you gave me about 16 years ago. I still use that spreadsheet if you remember it.
You know, the refi breakdown or purchase breakdown?
No, it's the purchase breakdown. It's the purchase worksheet. Yeah. I don't know if it's compliant. So if there's compliance on this call, I didn't say that, but I still use that same spreadsheet every day with clients. Just so
my wife built it. I use it too every day.
It's awesome. It's really simple to explain numbers. So
I need to send you the refi one. You should see the refi one because it's really tricked out. Yeah, I will. I'll send it to you.
Hear people talk about refis. I'm like, where are those at? So yeah. So so I am thankful. Thanks, guys, and understand. I don't ever. Anytime I'm on these calls, I'm very conscious of my first boss of being an arrogant prick. To on calls like this, so I don't want to come across as that by any means. So, but Dave and I were just talking about something kind of I switched in my business. Middle of, I've always done it, but I've never really been super intentional about asking for referrals. And I kind of really took a big mental shift last year in saying, like asking at the right time, figuring out the right time to ask. And I'll tell you, if you have teams, my team was terrible at asking for referrals. They're scared to death of asking for referrals. They don't feel like we deserve it. I don't understand it. So I was always beating on them and beating on them and beating on them. And I have 5 people on my team and we never got referrals. So the more I thought about it, the more I researched it, the more I really looked at people that were doing a great job getting referrals. It was the loan officer. It was the name on the business card that has to ask for everything or else you'll get nothing. So, that for what that's worth, whether you want to do it or not, I mean, that's up to you, but that's the only, I've seen everything go up in the recent months because I'm super intentional about asking. And also I'm the one constantly asking. Right. So that's kind of my job as a sales guy is to ask for sales. Imagine that, right, Dave? Which Dave's like, duh. So Dave always has that unique ability to like, duh.
Ask for the business.
So anyways, so let me take you through a couple of situations. I think, Dave, this is what you wanted me to do. Just take you through a couple of situations of where we're asking. So I call every Thursday. I do call past clients. So I'll call anywhere from 10 to 30 past clients. If you're not calling them, they want to hear from you. And what I've done recently is I've monetized our relationship. And what I mean by that is if they bought a house 4 years ago at 250 and now it's worth 325 based on Zillow, Redfin, whatever you want to do, you all do MMI or you do HomeBot or Home IQ, whatever, you can see values very easily. I call them and I do say, hey man, that's so cool. You bought that house for 250. Now it's worth 325. And they're always like, are you serious? Or they're like, oh, is that really what it's worth? Is that accurate? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's all. You're good. It's worth it. And then I basically get them in a positive mode. And then I'm asking, which one of your friends is a renter that wants to build that kind of net worth? And I've been asking that question consistently now for about 3 to 4 months. And I will tell you, January, we got 8 past client referrals. So out of 66 leads, and these are not internet leads, these are not garbage. These are personal referrals. Out of 66 personal referrals in January, 8 of them were actual past client referrals. And then this month so far, we're at 4 past client referrals.
That's phenomenal, dude. And then you said that the past client referrals, you converted 6 of those in January. You converted 6 of those into full pre-approvals.
So yeah, 6 full pre-approvals. February, I haven't figured it out yet, but we're at 4. I just looked up what we're at. I haven't looked at whether we're pre-ups or not, but out of 6 out of the 8 were actual. And we're intentionally calling certain clients too. Understand, I have a big spectrum of business, not like Denver, what I'll do like $100,000 place and I'll do a $500,000 place. I'm focusing more on the 300s and up. Let me just be honest with you, because that's the pond I want to fish in. I want my average loan amount to go up, not go down.
Right.
Which, obvious reasons, right?
Sure.
So that's kind of the past client referral. So let me take you through. So when I get a contract, so like this morning, whoever got Giuseppe 4 contracts in a week, man, oh God, my team would freak out if we got 4 contracts right now. It's like Chicagoland dies this time of year. But anytime we get a contract, which I got 2 this morning, actually, every time now I'm back in touch with that client. I used to not be, but now I'm doing a contract lock call. But I say, okay, here's our process. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to lock in. And I said, here's what my team's going to do for you. 1, we're going to get you approved as quickly as possible. When we do, don't feel awkward. Don't feel weird. My team, if we've done an awesome job, my team, Lisa, Ruby, Hope, are going to ask you for a friend of yours that needs to buy a house. And I will tell you, we're at 2 current client referrals this month. We never get current client referrals. Never. We never did before. But I'm saying my team is specifically going to ask you once you're approved. And if you thought we've done an awesome job, don't make it weird for them. It's part of their bonus structure to ask for a referral and get one from you. So I'm putting, and they don't get a bonus on it, I'll be honest with you right now, but maybe I'll do one day. But my point is, I'm putting it out there right up front for the client so my team feels, 1, comfortable to ask, and 2, they know it's coming. And I'm very clear with them up front that we're going to ask for a referral.
What kind of response?
Actually 2 current client referrals this month.
What kind of a response do you get when you say that?
No problem. Matt, they're so excited they're getting under contract. Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely.
It's a perfect time to ask.
I'm not asking, no offense if anyone here is an engineer, I'm not asking the engineer that's only worried about their interest rate and their closing cost. We all know that conversation. These are people that we're getting in an excited mood. We're intentional getting excited, and I'm saying that at that time. I'm not asking for the referral. I'm saying, if we do an awesome job for you, when we get your approval, my team is going to ask, just so you know, don't make it awkward for them, and they won't make it awkward for you either. I promise.
Right on.
That's what happens. People get awkward in that. I mean, I think we all know that that's an awkward situation sometimes for people.
Sure. So then are you asking anytime, so that's during the process, will you ask again when do you go over your final numbers with the client, or does one of your team?
No, my processor does, but I'm in touch with them at the very end as well.
Okay. And do you ask again?
Yes, absolutely. Especially now we've gotten, and my brain is programmed. Anytime I get a compliment, I'm turning it and asking for something.
So give me an example.
That was the switch for my brain. So if a realtor says, hey man, you guys were unbelievable, I'm simply just saying, do you want all your transactions to be unbelievable? And then I just be quiet.
That's a great.
And then of course, realtors, they're like, well, yeah, but I'm a listing agent. I don't care. Who writes your buyer's offers? That's the person I want to meet with. So just more intentional, right? So that's kind of the philosophy we're going with, is that every time we hear a compliment, I'm going to ask for something at this point.
Right on. Talk some more about, you mentioned, what did you say? You got 68 leads in January?
Yeah, 68 leads, personal referrals.
So I know that one of the things you do, you're very dialed in on how many talk tos you have a week, how many face-to-face meetings, how many break breads. You're a core coach. Yeah. You're in the core program. You've been in the core program. You have a love-hate relationship with it, but you love it more than you hate it, or you'd leave.
Yes.
Talk about that. Talk about the talk tos, because especially and this would be good to hear. I'd like to hear the answer to this for newer people who don't have. You've got a huge past client database.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people that you can call every day.
Yeah.
If you're brand new and you don't have a lot of past clients in your database, who are you calling?
Yeah. That's a tough question because it is, who are you going to call? So it's a matter of how tenacious are you going to be, right? So just so you guys know, on Monday, if you don't know the core, on Monday, I call at least around 40 agents. Now I say around, I would, that's 30 to 50, depending on how slow we are. So I call it, that's an agent. So that's a list of anywhere from, agents I know extremely well to 10 that I'm prospecting. Okay. So I've switched. I'm no longer prospecting teams. If you don't write real estate contracts, I'm no longer calling on you. I'm sick of wasting time, money, and energy on teams. If you guys are calling on teams, I'd love to hear a success story because I'm freaking pissed. I spent a lot of the last 6 months doing this. But so Mondays are realtors. Tuesdays, I'm calling current clients that are in pipeline. So I call the listing agent, the selling agent, and also the client. So I call those 3 people. And then I'm starting to call the buyer's attorney as well because we're getting more return referrals than before because deals are falling apart at the end. So we're calling all attorneys as well now. Wednesdays, I call any pre-approvals that we've done for the last year or two. So if I'm slow and I'll go through January of 2023, picked up 2 deals, by the way. January 2023, I'll go through the pre-approval calls from January 2023 because I keep track of all these leads for monthly. And then that's Wednesdays. Thursdays are always past clients, 10 to 30 of them, depending on the day. And then Fridays are VIP. So this morning I called 10 people that were golf buddies, business owners that I know, attorneys, restaurant owners, basically anybody I know, like, and trust, and I want them to refer me family and friends. So that's how I fill up at least 75 phone conversations, which Jacqueline said it. If you call for an hour a day, you will fill up 75 phone conversations.
Yeah. Well, you're calling more than an hour though, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, I am. Yeah. But
yeah,
I also
one of the things Jacqueline figured out, we talked about this the other day. She's like, well, I was only able to talk to 4 people and every conversation's 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a 2-minute conversation, right?
Yeah. And I guarantee people like Jacqueline way better than they like me. I'm a little too transactional sometimes, and I do cut off those conversations a little shorter than I probably should. But I also need to get to a certain amount of leads for the month though too. So there's kind of a double-edged sword there, I guess you'd say.
What do you say to those 30 to 40 agents? Because we've heard that for years, and we've heard from the agents over the years that like, man, I hate all these people who call me on Monday. You've got to have heard this a million
times. Don't call
them
on Monday. Well, I will tell you, you guys are in Denver, so you're in a massive core area. So yeah, they get a lot of phone calls on Monday. Right? If the people are following the core. So you guys, I'm not in an area, there's no core member around here where I live for 40 miles, at least.
Really?
Chicago's just, I don't know what it is. There's not many. I don't know if there's another lender in Chicago.
What do you say on Monday? What do you say?
So and I've ripped this off just so you guys know. So I think this is one of the best scripts. It's, hi, I'm Matt Brua with Fairway Mortgage. The purpose of my call, and there's 3 things I'll do. I'll save them time. I'll help make them money, or I'll invite them to something fun. That's it. And I established that Sunday night or Monday morning. Hi, I'm Matt Brua with Fairway Mortgage. The purpose of my call is I've got a brand new $5,000 cash guarantee I put on all my pre-approvals. Do you have buyers that would need that? Or do you have buyers that are having trouble getting their offer accepted? Cool. All right. Would you like to meet for 15 minutes? I'll explain. I'll bring coffee by your office.
Nice.
So super simple. So state who you are. What's the purpose of your freaking phone call? 1, 2, or 3. It's either you're going to save them time, you're going to make them money, you're going to invite them to something fun. Even the agents that know me really well. Hey, it's Matt. Hey, today I'm going over this. Bang, here you go. It's a little not as scripted because they know me really well, but I'm also doing, hey, it's Matt. The purpose of my call today is this. Do you need this in your business right now? Is there something you need? What else can I help you with? You got any deals from the weekend? You got this, you got that, whatever. It goes sideways a lot of times from there, if that makes sense.
Right on. I love the intentionality behind all of this. Jessica, I'm assuming that was your question because you had your hand raised. Like, what do you say to the realtors? Is that what you were going to ask?
Yeah. How do you get through 40 calls like pretty quickly? And so I guess you just cut it off.
Yeah. Sometimes those calls, Jessica, I have 6 hours blocked out on Monday for my Monday calls. Yeah. But
you're just grinding.
I have 3 people. And again, I get it. Like, everyone's in a different boat, right? And again, not being an arrogant or try not to come across a certain way. Like, I have 3 people that answer my phone. I have my own processor. I have my own market. So I have 5 people on my team. So I have the luxury. I have to spend 6 hours on the phone call. I don't have the luxury of not doing it because I have a team doing pre-approvals if there's 5 leads or 8 leads that come in on Monday morning, I'm not talking to those leads at all. My team's taking them, right? So there's a different structure there. So if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's no way I could spend 6 hours doing phone calls if I had to take I had to take 4 leads, do an app, have a closing blow up. Like, I'm in the same business you guys are. Like, it's not always easy, but it is. My team protects me in that aspect.
Right on. Right on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right on. Who has a question for him they'd like to ask him? Anybody?
Does anybody do Google reviews?
Yeah, we actually all just switched over to the heck's it called, guys? We used to do experiences. Bird eye. Yeah. So our reviews are coming out and it's a Google review, but go ahead and share what you're doing now.
Yeah. So just my Google script. So if you Google my name, if just for fun, Google my name, you realize I'm not BSing you guys. I do have a decent amount of Google reviews, but my Google script is after they close, I always just send them the link and I call them and I'm like, hey, I really appreciate you being my client. I just sent you a Google link. Please spend 3 minutes doing a Google review. You can pick one of 2 things. You can do 5 stars with no words, or if you really want to be an overachiever, do 5 stars and put some words on the paper, and I would really appreciate it. So I make it somewhat fun for them.
No, talk about the script. You have a better script about, I'm Matt Brua. I did your loan it closed 2 weeks ago. Like you're trying to get them laughing at you.
Well, I mean, the 5-star thing is the point. You can do 5 stars with words or you can do 5 stars without. What do I say? And some people always worry like, oh, you're calling your past. It's Matt. I closed your loan 2 weeks ago. I know you're done with me. Whatever. I mean, whatever I'm in the mood for, just to make it somewhat fun for myself. Because again, this stuff can get tedious, right? So I'm trying to make it fun for myself, but also make it fun for the client. So when they get the voicemail, they at least want to respond to it, right? They want to spend 2-3 minutes, help us out, do a Google review. But I will tell you, always get a chuckle when you say, you can do 5 stars. I don't care. But if you really want to be an overachiever and you really want to show your gratitude, you do 5 stars with words. We'd really appreciate it. And they always laugh at it, and they always leave 5 stars with words. I mean, we'll tell you, like, when I do that one and I get people on the phone, they tend to put words in there because they know that I kind of beat them down on a little bit.
So is the review, is there some kind of, are you using any kind of a tool that's just sending them a Google link to do a review, or you're doing that manually every time?
Yeah, no, Encompass does it when they get their clear to close, but probably 20% of clients do that. But if I call, and again, now my team would call, we got about 3 out of 10 that would do it. I call, I get about 7 out of 8. And I'm not saying I'm like this magic man by any means. It's just my name on the business. It's my name. They want to hear from me. And that took me a long time to come back to that realization. Like, people want to deal with the person on the business card. So to answer your question, what was your question again, Dave? I'm sorry. Look, I'm a salesperson. I lost track.
That was it. No, that was it.
Yeah. But Google reviews, I think, are super important. We just closed one that referred back to an agent, a $750,000 purchase. And you guys saw my average loan amount. $750 is a big deal for me. So, but I got to refer. That was an unattached lead. The whole point of everything that I do in asking for referrals is to get an unattached lead to send back to the realtors that I do business with.
Yeah.
And the best thing I can get is an unattached lead on a past client, and their realtor is no longer in the business, and I can refer that to a new agent that I like and I'm trusting, and then we're getting business back and forth from. So that's the whole intention of asking for all these referrals. Kind of, if you go for that, that's my thing, because most of my business is realtor referral.
Right on.
So
right on. When does the
what was your reason behind not doing teams anymore? Just curious.
Yeah. So okay. So in the core, Chris, I'm in the core. Rick Ruby's my coach, and I spent a lot of time with Rick. And he told us not to. He's told me for years not to. Here's why. He's like, because I brought it up in a meeting one time, which wrong thing to do, evidently, to ask questions. And I'm BSing. But so here's what would happen with the teams I was going after, Chris. Okay. And you correct me. You tell me if you have different experience. So I'm thinking of 3 big teams that I chased all last year. And I got in with all 3 teams. All 3 asked for money. The lead asked for money. Then she's like, all were females, all leads were females. Then they're like, okay, now we need to get you with my team. Then I got to resell the team, and I got to break through those relationships. And then that's a revolving door. Like, there's 5 new ones, there's 2 new ones, there's 3, this one left, that one left. And then they go to other teams, and then you're still working with that team, but then they're pissed off that you still work with that team. So my experience has been, they always ask for money. It's crap. Then I'm constantly having to chase their buyer's agents. Half their buyer's agents are super weak and don't not even get an offer accepted in the market we're in right now. And the lead does not help them. And the lead does not spend a ton of time helping them. And then that revolving door on the realtors. So they're constantly bringing in new people and getting rid of old people. Very few of the teams that I'll tell you, if like the 2 agents that I'm really that I'm close with, they probably have 3 new agents in the last 4 months and gotten rid of 3 of their old agents because they just come and go in the business. It's too easy. So that's kind of why I'm only going to deal with the buyer's agents that are actually writing the contracts that are good, strong salespeople.
So I looked up your stuff yesterday on MMI, Mobility RE, and you've got one agent that looks like she works for you. She's just like 16 closings in the last 14 months with her. That's a solid relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. She runs a team, and I still get a very little fraction of their business because they're just so fragmented, and she's always bringing new agents in all the time.
And then you've got like your next agent was like 6 or 7 deals. And then it started with like 3 or 4 people that were 4 loans, and then 2, maybe 4 or 5 with 3, and then some 2s, and then a lot of 1s. Like, how many agents did you say you got business from last year?
I think it was 83.
83 different agents.
Yeah. Which again, I'm transactional. I should be more personal or more relational. But the problem is I'm a 48-year-old male. My average realtor is a 55-year-old woman, and no offense to sex or age, but they just don't want to do the things I want to do. They don't like gambling on golf courses like I do. So there's a miss there for sure. If anybody likes gambling on golf courses, I'm your guy.
Yeah. Haber and Ryan should be here for this call, and Casey. There you go.
Yeah, Ryan referred me. I was going to find Ryan because he referred me a client of his last in December, and I was going to say something to him, but I didn't see him.
He had a closing this morning.
Yeah.
He'll be watching. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, kind of just a probably a really basic question, but when you get voicemail on your Monday calls, do you just leave the same script that you say when you get them live?
It depends on who it is, Chad. So if it's somebody I have a really good relationship with, I'll probably mess around with them. I'll try to make them giggle a little bit and try to get them to, think fondly of me versus, oh shit, is Monday call again? Does that make sense? So, yeah. But if it is somebody I'm calling on and it's super and I'm trying to be super professional, I will give them the, hey, this is Matt Brua with Fairway Mortgage. The purpose of my call is this. I'm looking to help your buyer's agents close more transactions. I'm looking to help you track your leads better. I'm looking to, whatever I'm trying to figure out that week.
And you just leave that as a voicemail if you don't get them?
Yeah, cool. But it like quick 20-second voicemail, bang, bang, like super fast. I'm thinking like, if you're calling me and leave me a voicemail, if I look down and it's a minute 15 voicemail, it's going to be hard for me to get through it. So a little bit of it.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Right on. Anybody else?
Yeah. So then let's just say they want to hear more information about the program you're talking about. Then you just set up follow-up call, okay.
Set up coffee. Yeah.
Coffee. Okay.
Yeah. If they do, if they're a decent agent closing it, if they close at least like 8 buy sides a year, that's who I'm really focusing on, those 8 buy sides a year. For me, I can get probably 3 to 4 transactions from them, and that's where I want to go meet with them face to face.
Well,
yeah. So I won't do it over the phone. And I'm not emailing them I'll email them. I'm not saying I won't. I'll email it to them, but I'm like, hey, I'll email it to you, but let me come to your office, bring a coffee. Like I'm not calling on someone that's an hour away either, Jessica. I'm calling on someone that I live in an area that's very populated, a lot of realtors, just like you guys. I mean, there's 20,000 realtors probably in Denver.
Yeah, somewhere, something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like that.
Dude, this has been really great. If anybody else have anything else? This is a really good opportunity.
Yeah, Matt, I just have a really quick question. That list of realtors that you're going through, say you're making that 40 to 50 list, is that the same list every single week? And then if so, how often are you cycling people through that and adding people into that list?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a couple layers, right? So we've got 340 lists. So I've got my top 30 that I call on pretty much every week. I've got team members, all my team, the 3 people on my team are calling 10 to 15 a week. And then, so we're cycling through that. And then I'm rotating through that 40 list, probably, there's 30 that hear from me at least 3 times a month. And then other than that, there's probably 60 that hear from me once a month. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, because if their volume such as like they're doing 2 transactions a year, I can hit them like once every couple months. stay in front of them. I send a video to every realtor every Friday. I send a video to like 980 realtors every Friday. So they're hearing me on Monday. They're seeing me on Friday. Like the point is that when they have a buyer that's unattached, they're going to hopefully think of me. That's it. So yeah, I'm not
Makes
calling the
perfect
exact
sense.
same 40 every lease. And if I don't hear from someone after like 8 weeks, Casey, a brand new agent, if I don't hear from him 8 weeks, I'll leave them some kind of bullshit email. Like I'll kind of mess with them on a voicemail, and then I'll just stop calling them. Like I'll do one last thing where I'll be like, wow, I called you 8 weeks in a row. How persistent is this? I mean, I would call your clients like this. I'd help your business, but if you're not interested, you're not interested, So, but and then I'll leave it alone or whatever. So, or I'll text them something smart ass or just something to get a response, like, just be like, so they know at least my name. So
Perfect.
I'm not afraid to be a smart ass, Casey. Let me say it that way.
He's
You
not.
gotta be you.
He's
Yeah.
not. He's not
Yeah.
afraid to be a smartass. Well, dude, this has been great. Thank you so much. I super appreciate it. And
I hope it was helpful, guys.
love having you on here. And I'll be getting transcriptions of some of the scripting that you shared. And I have some transcripts from the last call that you and I did. So, dude, thanks a lot. I mean it. I really appreciate it. Super
I
great.
hope you guys got something
man.
out of it. I really hope it helps your businesses. I really do. And I get it. It's we're all in the same boat, right? We're all just trying to close, whether it's 2 loans or 20 loans. It's a great business, but it's definitely work.
All right.
So.
Right on. All right, dude. Thanks a lot.
Giuseppe, great seeing
Thanks,
you, brother.
Matt. You too, Matt.
All right, guys. Take
I'll
care.
send you that refinance breakdown worksheet. You'll love it. I'll send
Oh,
you the
yeah,
updated
please
new
send it
one
to me.
too.
One day rates will go down. Not today.
Yeah,
but they will.
I'll see you.
Bye.
So that was great. He's a great dude. And you can see why I talk to him every now and then just to check in on, see what he's doing and what he's got going on. We got along really well back when we first met. I didn't realize he was only 22 when he first met Tom Ward. That's amazing. And look at his career. He's been, it's a little like Giuseppe's story. I mean, it's just like, oh my God, his career is just amazing.
He was a top producer when I was at Majestic and was there for training for that month. He was already like, him and Don and Kevin and Ed were like the top producers in that company.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I remember that conversation. I was with Kevin and this was after those guys had left Fairway and they were brokers somewhere. And, we were sitting talking and I was always really impressed with him. He's really a sharp guy. Right. And I was always really impressed with him. But then I said, like, dude, what are you doing? You're freaking A student doing C work. What's your fucking deal? And he's like, the fuck, shut up. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, you annoy people like you annoy me. You have so much talent and then you don't do anything. And so, because that's hard to come by and you should have that talent. You should take advantage of it. Anyway, so that's really nice of him. I actually forgot that I said that to him. And then he reminded me about a year ago. He's like, dude, you saved my career. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then he told me, I go, oh yeah, I do remember that. I go, that was kind of mean of me. And he goes, no, it wasn't. It was great. So anyway.
Just your motivation style.
What's that?
I said, that's just how you motivate people.
That's
your
like,
style, huh, Chris?
Pretty direct. All I want is what's best for you. So anyway, so if you've ever been on the receiving end, I apologize. Anyway, thanks everybody. That was a great call. You're going to have the recording of this and then I'll get some scripts written for some of the stuff that he wrote so that you guys can need to put that stuff in your words. But I think there's a ton of value here and I'm already hearing it because everybody's starting to become intentional about asking for referrals and they're getting a really good result. So just take advantage of that because there's a lot of gain here and an unattached buyer lead is gold for you because when you hand that off to a good realtor, and you should never hand that off to a realtor you haven't done any deals with in an attempt to like build the relationship, that should come after. That's just something I've learned. The first unattached buyer lead that I gave to a realtor, I never got a deal from the realtor after that. I was like, what a dick. I'm never going to do that again. And so should have been going to the realtors I was already getting business with. And so I learned my lesson. And, but in the meantime, you had look for the recording and the scripts and let's have a great rest of your Friday and I'll see you guys at noon. Thanks everyone.